Alright, we're reacting to some stories. It's called the Dollar Tree Psycho. It's a real story, I think. If it could just lean a little bit forward. Yeah, I think that should be good.
But I think she will be once she hits middle age. I'll just say that she and I don't have the greatest workplace chemistry. Most days, it's just me and Karen running the place, doing all the work while our boss just sits in his office. That's all. If he's even there. One Sunday night, things started out as usual. It was an hour before closing. The boss had already taken off. Karen was running the register, and I was sweeping the aisles, trying to get a head start on our closing tasks. The store was nearly empty. Just fluorescent lights and dingy white tiles, and the same shelves I have to stock every single day. That's when I heard a customer coming in. I continued sweeping the aisle, then moved on to the next. This one was in the middle of the store where I could see right to the entrance, and when I glanced down the aisle to see who had entered, I saw one of the most disturbing things ever. It was a man who looked insane, holding a huge machete at his side. Worse, he was staring right at me. He looked to be standing right by the register.
Am I
But it didn't seem
cooked?
that Karen was there. I thought she must have gone to the bathroom. I was alone with this man. He may have been over 50 feet away, but there wasn't a single person or obstacle between us. I was terrified. I stopped sweeping, refusing to take my eyes off him before he looked away from me. But he didn't. He kept his gaze fixed directly on me. We stared at each other for almost a minute. Suddenly, he burst forward.
Dang.
So fast that it closed nearly half the distance between us before I could even react. I dropped the broom and ran back to the office. The man was inches away from me as I got in and slammed the door shut. I put my entire body weight into the door, trying to keep him from getting in as I found the lock in the darkness and flipped it. Once it was locked, I stepped away. A moment later, the machete came right through the door. I screamed in pain, watching the machete hack the cheaply made door like it was made of cardboard. I thought about what I could do to keep him from getting in.
Here's Johnny.
Everything off my boss's desk and flipped it up on the sidewalk. The speaker jammed up against the door. It was something I would have struggled with on any other occasion.
Nah, bro should actually be strong. It's a commercial break, but bro should actually be stronger than that. He looks to be at about 25. He looks to be about 25. Bro should be stronger than that. How do you like my windows? Hey, they're pretty high, actually.
More strength than I ever thought I had. Seconds before I
Oh,
thought the door was shut in pieces, I had to suddenly stop.
oh, it stopped.
It was so quiet I could hear myself about to cry. Finally, I had the sense to take out my phone and dial
911. What's your emergency?
The 911 operator continued to ask me questions, but I soon couldn't hear any of it. All I could hear were the sounds coming from the other side of the store. I realized that the man had walked away from me because he had found himself another target, and she was screaming for her life. I broke down in tears, hiding in a dark corner of the office. The screams eventually stopped. I didn't know whether to go out and help or wait for the cops. I expected him to come back for me. I felt I was only waiting to meet the same fate as my coworker. Yet somehow, he never came. I didn't know if he was still there. I just stood there frozen in the room, puzzled by everything that was going on. After many minutes of terror in the office, some police officers finally knocked on what was left of the door and got me out. Unfortunately, as they escorted me out of the store, I saw what that man had done. I saw what was left of Karen. Her body was
Oh, it's already blurred.
torn out. It was an unthinkable destruction of what was once a decent human being. I collapsed in shock and vomited on the floor right then and there. The cops had to carry me out. They found me killed at about an hour later. asked me if I had any connection or if I knew of Karen. I said no. I had never seen that man before. He just came into my place of work one day and decided he was going to take out the first person he saw. I don't get it. There was no motive at all. Just insanity. Just evil. The Dollar Tree didn't survive the bad press from the incident. My boss was forced to close the store not long after it happened. It didn't help that I quit the day up. I can't imagine ever stepping foot inside of a Dollar Tree ever again, much less spending an 8-hour shift in one. Just the sight of that makes my stomach turn.
And this is a real story?
Inspired by a horrific incident regarding a woman who was hacked to death by a machete-wielding madman while working her job at a Dollar Tree, just less than 2 months after she married the love of her life. The newlywed, 22-year-old Ohio woman Karis Riebland was taken out Sunday at the dollar store in Upper Sandusky while working a shift on New Year's Day. Cops were called to the scene at 4:25 p.m. Shortly after, 27-year-old Bethel Beckley was said to have entered the establishment. Upon arrival, officers came across the grisly scene and found Riebel's remains on the store floor. Her attacker, however, was nowhere to be found. Within the hour, cops tracked down Beckley about a mile from the store and immediately arrested him. In a GoFundMe account set up to help Riebel's husband with funeral expenses, his aunt, Amber Geyser, revealed that the pair had been newlyweds. It's unclear if any relationship existed between the victim and the suspect. The Wyandotte County Major Crimes Unit is currently investigating the incident. The man has since been charged accordingly.
Wow.